Hey everybody, this is Perch. While I was traveling, still traveling a little bit, but while I was traveling, the news broke around Jonathan Hickman and Brian Hitch. And what's funny is people said reuniting to come back to the Ultimate Universe. And, call me crazy, but Jonathan Hickman and Brian Hitch did not work together in the Ultimate Universe. You're thinking about Mark Miller and Brian Hitch. You're thinking about the Ultimates. Somehow Jonathan Hickman is a new Mark Miller. Sorry, Mark. I I don't know what to tell you. Went off to Netflix, and Jonathan Hickman actually wrote the Ultimates 1 and 2. He's not taking credit for Ultimates 3 though. He's leaving that with Jeff Loeb. That one's gonna sit over there. Anyway, this event, of course it's an event. I mean, come on. This is landing in June of 2023. Now, of course, a lot of retailers have gotten this heads up already. But basically, what is this summer event? Well, first off, it's got the name Ultimate Invasion, and it has the tagline, "The transformation of the Marvel Universe begins in June." And basically what it looks like is you've got the kind of evil Reed Richards, the maker. And Miles Morales appears to be a fairly major kind of picture in this character, or character in this picture. And you have the original Ultimates, the Thor, Giant Man, Iron Man, kind of the very Mark Miller, Brian Hitch version of this team, and they appear to be colliding with the Marvel Universe. So what is all this going on? Well, here's how it's being described. It says Marvel's Ultimate Universe ended a little less than 10 years ago with 2015's Secret Wars. Hard to believe that was 8 years ago. But now Secret Wars writer Jonathan Hickman and Brian Hitch, who drew the Ultimates, are bringing the Ultimate Universe back this June for a 4-issue limited series titled Ultimate Invasion, which Marvel bills as the start of the transformation of the Ultimate Universe, or the Marvel Universe. I don't know. Anyway, we've seen, so it goes on to talk about how things have crossed over before. And Hickman gave this quote to Entertainment Weekly. He said, "Revisiting the idea of Ultimate Comics couldn't be replicating or revisiting what Brian did in the original Ultimates." It's weird when you read this stuff. You pick up little things, and it's like revisiting what Brian did. Mark Mark had a role there. So did, for that matter, so did Bendis. Bendis created Miles Morales. It's just curious to me that kind of the two key writers in all this are being completely ignored. Now, I love Brian Hitch. Don't get me wrong, but anyway, I find that a little odd. Anyway, it couldn't be replicated or revisiting what Brian did in the original Ultimates, creating a streamlined, modernized version that would eventually become the spine of the MCU, and certainly couldn't be what I did, which was a final chapter of a pre-existing universe. But many people forget, by the way, I don't know about why many people, but Jonathan Hickman, of course, did a run in the Ultimate Universe, but it was kind of after things started to shift. It was certainly when the regular Marvel Universe was getting its feet under it. Civil War was going strong. Bendis had moved over and was doing pretty big things over there. So the Ultimate Universe had returned to taking a back seat to other things. But Hickman continues. He said, "We also thought the very idea of Ultimate Comics needed to be inverted from what the original universe was. We wanted this to be something that could really only exist in the comic space, a new way of thinking about and enjoying a new version of the Marvel Universe. I'm pretty happy to say it feels like we've accomplished those things, and we're very excited for everyone to go read it." So there's at least, people are drawing the conclusion, and the kind of words of Ultimate Comics and what it is. It certainly sounds like we're going to be getting more Ultimate Comics. That the Ultimate Universe is going to be continue to be spun off. We're going to get more limited series. I'm kind of guessing there's going to be a number of 5-issue limited series. I don't know why I think 5 issues. I'm crazy that way. But anyway, this comic is coming on now. Hickman, as you may know, they tease that he has a project with Valerio Schiti, which was kind of promoted a little less than a year ago, back in 2022. This is not that. And Valerio actually mentioned on Twitter that he was as surprised by this as anyone. He learned about it on Twitter. and he is not it's unrelated to whatever project he is working on with Hickman. But basically, it's So what can we draw from this? Okay, the fanboy. I mean, I enjoyed Ultimates, and I enjoyed a lot of the Ultimate Universe. I recently went back and reread both Ultimate Spider-Man by Bendis, as well as Ultimate X-Men by like all kinds of people, including Kirkman and Miller, and I mean, there were a bunch of people who did runs. I think Jeff Johns did a run on that, for that matter. It was enjoyable. I like those comics. I think there was a freeing aspect of it. I did a video about it recently, so I like the Ultimate comics. And I like a lot of what they've done. It's hard not to look at this, though, and think this is a kind of cash grab of Marvel trying to reignite excitement for something that people, were into a long time ago. The preview pages, Brian Hitch doing good Brian Hitch stuff. We've got the Maker talking to Miles Morales, and he's key to that. And Miles Morales is one of those crossover characters that came to this universe, so all makes sense. I don't buy the tagline, the transformation of the Marvel Universe begins. There's been commentary, at least, that, hey, maybe this is how, Marvel kind of backs their way out of several things going on. But look, Jed McKay is doing his thing over in Avengers at the exact same time in, May, June. We're getting Fall of the Mutants after the Hellfire Gala. These things aren't related. This is a 4-issue series. It'll create some kind of little pocket reality. I think the Maker, the evil Reed Richards character is interesting. And I think that there's a lot you can do with that. We haven't really seen much of the Maker since, I think the last time we really saw much of him was in Donny Cates when he was doing Venom. And I think there was at least some indication that Donny Cates was going to do more with the Maker. But of course, Donny Cates, lost his mind. And that's unfair. But, I am who I am. Anyway. So, he's being used here, and that's cool. But this feels like kind of a revival of sorts to kind of kick back off the ability to tell some pocket universe stories. I mean, and why not? Secret Wars was intending to kind of bring everything together and cap it all off. There was this edict that I think Tom Brevoort said where we were not going to get more. It wasn't going to be called the 616 anymore. It was just going to be, but immediately, like within less than 2 months, somebody broke that and started calling it 616 again. Now we've seen more multiverse stuff, and I mean, everybody's addicted to that multiverse crack. And so I think whatever boundary had been made of kind of the worlds colliding and everything Hickman did, this is going to, that's over. We've it's been 8 years since Secret Wars, and we're done with that. I mean, that's way in the rearview mirror at this point. So Ultimate Invasion, 4-issue series. Multiversal kind of craziness. What will it mean for Miles and everything else? I'm going to go on record here and say I doubt there will be big, long-lasting consequences to this. I mean, it'd be nice. I'd love to be wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see the comics commit to something and go forward, but I'm not seeing it here. I think it'll be fun, and I think they'll leave the door open to do little mini-series in the future. Set the Ultimate Universe, much like we have, Mr. Fix-It going on right now, the stuff with the Maestro. The various, Ron and Ron comics that are going on with the Silver Surfer. That's what this feels like, which could be fun. I mean, nothing wrong with it. But as Marvel slowly transitions to a company of just limited series, this feels like some of that. But maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe I'm being too cynical. What do you think? Are you buying Ultimate Invasion? What do you think of this pairing? Hickman, Brian Hitch, Jonathan Hickman, of course, who created all of the Ultimate. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't claim that, but it is funny how. It's funny how in the press they just kind of erase other things. I don't know. Maybe I'm just stirring trouble. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. And thanks for listening.